February 1999, 13-year-old Minerliz Minnie Soriano left her Bronx school, laughing with friends, her backpack slung over her shoulder. She promised her mom she'd be home soon, but she never made it. 4 days later, her body was discovered inside garbage bags in a dumpster behind a video store in Co-op City. While kids rented movies, a child's body lay discarded just steps away. For 22 years, her family lived in the dark, until a single stain on her sweatshirt finally spoke louder than her killer's silence. This is one of New York City's most haunting cold cases. The story of Minerliz Soriano, a straight-A student who dreamed of becoming an astronaut, who filled notebooks with poetry, who told her cousins the stars were heaven's peepholes. She was only 13 when her life was stolen, and for more than 2 decades, her family hung Christmas stockings in her name, refusing to let her be forgotten. This isn't just about DNA. It's about the persistence of a mother, the frustration of detectives, and the breakthrough that shattered 22 years of silence. Stay with me. The last line matters. Minnie was responsible beyond her years. She often sat in the lobby of her apartment building to do homework, keeping an eye on her younger siblings while scribbling poems into her notebooks. Her mother described her as an innocent soul who loved to learn and wanted to make something of herself. February 24th, 1999 was supposed to be an ordinary day. Minnie left school wearing her favorite gray hoodie, the sleeves frayed, a bleach stain on the cuff, Skittles in her pocket. She called her mom from a payphone to say she'd grab juice and be home soon. But somewhere between school and home, she vanished. Her family didn't wait. Flyers went up. Neighbors joined the search. Friends, parents, and even strangers scoured stairwells and courtyards, calling her name. But the hours stretched into days, and dread began to settle. On February 28th, a man looking for cans opened a dumpster behind a Co-op City video store. Inside were garbage bags, and inside those bags was Minnie. The autopsy revealed she had been strangled and sexually assaulted. It was rage, cruelty, a life extinguished. Her mother, Migdalia, recognized her by her purple shoelaces. The Bronx community was shaken to its core. Candlelight vigils were held. Candles lit up the night sky as neighbors wept for the 13-year-old who loved stars. Parents kept their children close. Fear spread through every hallway and courtyard. Detectives had one piece of hope: DNA from a stain on Minnie's sweatshirt. But in 1999, CODIS, the National DNA Database, was still too small. No matches. Investigators knocked on doors in 35 buildings. They spoke with more than 35,000 neighbors. Among the doors they knocked on was Joseph Martinez's. He told police he had seen Minnie the day she disappeared, and even joined in the search for her. To investigators, he looked like just another helpful neighbor. In reality, he was the predator they were hunting. And for 22 years, no one knew. Tips trickled in. Leads fizzled. Detectives admitted they were haunted by Minnie's case. Some retired without answers, saying her photo never left their desks. For her family, the silence was unbearable. Birthdays passed, holidays passed. Every Christmas, Migdalia hung a stocking for Minnie. Every year, she waited for justice. By 2019, DNA technology had advanced. Investigators tried something never before attempted in a New York City cold case: familial DNA testing. Instead of searching for the suspect, the test searched for relatives. The results pointed to a deceased man. From there, detectives found his son, Joseph Martinez. Martinez wasn't who anyone expected. He had no prior record, no DNA in CODIS. On the surface, he seemed harmless. Locals knew him as Jupiter Joe. He set up telescopes on Bronx sidewalks, invited kids to look at the planets, and handed out star maps. Parents trusted him. Children thought he was fascinating. He wasn't hiding in the shadows. He had been hiding in plain sight for 22 years. Detectives placed Martinez under surveillance. They needed his DNA. Their chance came when he tossed away a cup. Police scooped it up, swabbed it, and rushed it to the lab. The results were undeniable, a perfect match to the DNA found on Minnie's sweatshirt. On November 30th, 2021, Joseph Martinez was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The man who showed children the stars had murdered a child who dreamed of reaching them. Because of COVID-19 delays, Martinez's case moved slowly through the courts. Prosecutors presented the DNA evidence and explained how forensic genealogy had unmasked him after more than 2 decades. The defense pushed back with arguments of contamination and doubt, but the science was strong. As of now, Martinez has been indicted and charged, but no public record confirms a sentencing. His case remains one of New York City's most significant cold case prosecutions. For Minnie's family, the arrest ended decades of unanswered questions. Bronx District Attorney Darcel Clark said, "It has been 22 years since her life was cruelly taken, but detectives never gave up on finding justice for her and her family. This is the first case in New York City that has been solved using familial DNA." Her mother remembered her as a gentle soul, a child who loved learning and dreamed of space. And now, after decades, she could finally say her daughter's killer had been unmasked. Minerliz Soriano's case was the first in New York City solved through familial DNA, linking her name forever to forensic history. But beyond the headlines, she was still Minnie, a 13-year-old girl who wrote poetry, chased straight A's, and believed the stars were windows to heaven. Her sweatshirt, once just a child's favorite hoodie, became the key that unlocked justice. Her case also raised bigger questions. Familial DNA is powerful, but also controversial. In fact, years later, New York courts would challenge its legality. But Minnie's case had already proven its worth. It showed that even the coldest cases can find justice if science and persistence are given time. If this story hit you in the chest, please like this video so more people hear Minerliz's name. Do you believe DNA will one day solve every cold case? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new here, subscribe, because on this channel, cold cases never stay forgotten. Minerliz Soriano was only 13 when her life was stolen. She was a daughter, a poet, a student who dreamed of becoming an astronaut. For 22 years, her story sat in silence, her family waiting for the justice she deserved. It was science that finally gave her a voice again, but it was her family's love that kept her memory alive. And tonight, somewhere in the Bronx, another child is walking home under the same stars Minnie once gazed at. Her name lives on. Her story is remembered. And maybe she's watching over every child who walks home under those same stars, making sure their voices are never silenced again.